guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, bringing you yet another deck review of the Raven's Prophecy Tarot by Maggie Stiefvater. So I'm sorry if I mispronounced her name, Stiefvater. Anywho, this is published by Llewellyn, and so as per Llewellyn, they always have these massive boxes that come with awesome looking guidebooks. The only thing I don't like is actually the massive box. You know, I kind of like not having things take up too much room. So I will say my cards are not in here. I did mention in a previous video, they used to have different packaging where there was like a perforated part of the packaging where you could tear it off and it became like a little box that you could put your cards in, so they weren't like rattling all over the place. But I don't know, the last two Llewellyn decks that I've gotten, this is what they had, and you know, and I think it jacks up the edges of my cards a little bit, so I don't put them in there. But let's just have a quick look at the guidebook. And I always love these guidebooks that look like they could just fit in your bookshelf all prettily. So here's the back. And this one, I passed on this deck a few times before I actually purchased it, just because it, I mean, I like the images, it just took a while to appeal to me. And sometimes that's just how it is, where you're like looking on the internet, you see some images, you're like, that's cool, but you know, you can't be plunking down cash every time you think a deck is cool, because we'd all be broke. So, you know, I have to be shrewd in my deck purchasingness. Okay, so here we have some, sorry, let me readjust. Okay, so we have info about the major and minor arcana. So I always think it does behoove people to take a look at the guidebook, you know, even if you are a seasoned tarot reader, you know, Marseille, and you know, what are the other types besides Rider-Waite, Toth, and all of that. Sometimes it's just good to get the artist's and the author's perspective on the cards. Because sometimes there might be some keywords that pop into your head and you're like, hey, I hadn't thought about that for that card. And you can get a totally different reading, which is why, you know, I like having a variety of decks, because I feel that there is a different energy to each deck. You know, each artist put their own interpretation, their own energy into the cards, and so I could get something that could be roughly along the lines of the traditional meaning of a card, but there could be a little bit extra. And so I think this deck offers that little bit extra. Okay, so just kind of going into your minor arcana here. And that's basically it. It ends on the King of Wands. Okay, so it has your keywords, a little bit about why they chose, like, let's say antlers for that. Okay. So there you have it. Let's get into the cards. So like I said, I didn't have my cards in there. I had them off to the side like magic. Okay, so let's give you guys a nice look at the backings of the cards. So it has all the elements, the infinity symbol, all that good stuff. It does kind of have a sheen to it. And since I have been using them, you notice that the edges coming up a little bit, but you know, when you handle a deck a lot, I guess there's no getting around that unless they were plastic, which they aren't. Okay, so I think it has pretty good cardstock. It's not too thick and not too thin, which is just how I like it, you know, and traditional tarot size. Okay, so let's take a look at these cards. So here we have the star. And just take, I mean, the images as we flip through these are going to be very simple, but that's what I like about it. And I just want to give you guys a close-up of this one card. I won't do this with all of them. Okay, and then P.S. I will be going through all of the cards. So if you would like to be surprised, then you may want to fast forward through some parts. I think this is done with like chalks, maybe. I'm sorry if I have that wrong. I don't have I don't know all the art medias. I just know that it's beautiful and I appreciate its symbolism. And if you're one of those people that doesn't like borders, I have seen videos where people have trimmed the deck. I don't know if I would trim it. I don't know. I kind of like, maybe I'm a weirdo on this, I kind of like the orange borders. I don't know. I think it just kind of does something for the photographs, but that's just me. You know, some people may be looking at this and they're like, ah, distracting. And if that's you, then totally ignore what I just said. I'm not here to like change people's minds. I'm just here to show you my love of tarot cards, and maybe you'll find some decks that appeal to you based off of the images that you see. So I'm not, you know, trying to push cards on anybody. So there you go. I like that Hermit. And let's see, for me, this is not a deck that I'm currently working with. I am working with the Green Witch Tarot, which, you know, I was using obviously around Yule, and it's more fall and autumn. This is fall and autumn to me, I guess, as well. But I think this is more of a Samhain type deck. So I don't know. Maybe it'll appeal to me during the summertime. So it does have a lot of, at least I'm looking at the wands section here. It's got a lot of fire to it. A lot of color, a lot of fire. I like the symbols on the hands. I do like that they're so minimal. You barely even have any animals, and the only part of the people you can see are their hands. So I dig it. It's nice to have a variety of decks, so not all your decks look exactly the same. Otherwise, I don't know. Then I think that there isn't much variety to your readings, whether you're reading for other people or for yourself. You know, I'll just like to have different forms, different interpretations of tarot. I like to have some that are just pip cards. I like to have some that have elaborate pip cards. I like some that are super illustrated. I like, you know, minimalistic but beautiful. Like, wow, 9 of Cups, I like it. And then maybe some that are a little darker, some that are a little lighter, you know, some that are more angel, and some more elemental. So yeah, that's just me. I mean, could I live off of having one deck? Yes. But I like the fact that most decks are not that expensive, and I could just, you know, buy a deck and I'm happy. So it's not like I go around buying decks and buying shoes and buying clothes. You know, I have my budget each month of what I spend. The Empress. I have mentioned before that the Empress and the World are the ones that the two cards I really look for when purchasing a deck. And here you have your Fool. Okay, so let's give this a little shuffle, and then I'll send you guys on your way. Okay, do a little side shuffle. I don't too much care for bending up my cards. Again, personal preference. I'm not trying to say one's good or bad. That's just, wow, I'm having such a hard time shuffling these cards today. Don't mind me. Has nothing to do with the cards. Has everything to do with my coordination this morning. Okay, and so if we were to set these out, let's say say 1, 2, 3. Let's say if you were doing a basic 3-card spread, this is how they would look. And for the first one, you got your Knight of Cups, followed by your Ace of Swords, followed by your 4 of Wands. So that's a nice little variety there. Okay, so there you have it. Let me know if you have any questions about this deck, or if you have it, or you're thinking about purchasing it, or any good stuff like that. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. Happy 2017, and I will catch you guys later. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and I will see you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.